So my husband and I were always very different people, right? We were like Monica and Chandler from Friends, but not funny. I'm like a Jersey loudmouth. He's a reserved Southerner. I'm like clinically OCD, like very unnecessarily type A. He could end up on an episode of Hoarders if left to his own devices. Like many couples, our biggest problem was communication. We communicated very different styles. You kind of learn that from your like family, your peers, your culture. I was raised by a bunch of like children and grandchildren of like loud immigrants from like New York that basically told you stand up for yourself, don't take shit from anyone. If you have a problem, address it right away, as loudly as possible. His family was all about, like keeping up appearances, making sure that, you pretended like everything was okay, even if there was a problem. So you can imagine how this went. So last summer, right after our 1-year wedding anniversary, he told me that he wanted to sleep with other people. And I was just taken aback because we had been together for years and it had never come up. And so, he sort of gave it to me as an ultimatum. He was like, I'm really nervous that if you don't allow me to do that, then I'm going to go behind your back and do it anyways. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll do it. I was like crying. So I agreed to an open marriage with certain rules and restrictions, obviously. But I was not happy about it. And he consoled me because I was very upset. He said, you're the person that I love. I want to have children with you. Like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And 2 weeks later, after I cried for 2 weeks, he told me that he was leaving me. So we agreed to a 6-month trial separation and that he would move out of my apartment at the end of the month. So it was 3 weeks later of purgatory, where he was basically sleeping on the couch because I'm not sleeping on the couch. And so finally the day comes, right, that he's going to finally leave and move out. And my best friend from home took the train in from Jersey, and he was the best man at our wedding. And we went to the Met to see an exhibit. We sat on the top of the steps at the Met like we were Blair and Serena and Gossip Girl, because I was a Blair, even though I always wanted to be a Serena. We went to brunch. I got really drunk. We went to Washington Square Park. We ate CBD brownies because I needed to get fucked up. And I went home to a much emptier apartment, and there was Obviously, there was a mess. He was a tornado on a path to self-destruction, leaving like a trail of like tears behind him. So I stripped naked because I was like, you know what? I'm a single lady. Like, I'm gonna clean up this apartment naked. Like, I don't give a fuck. And as I'm walking around, I see a green leather book on the TV stand, and I was like, well, that's deliberate. Like, what is this book? I open it up, and it's his journal. So I sat there. And I sat down cross-legged, naked, fucked up, in the middle of my broken home in my living room, and I read every single journal entry that he had written. And, most people think it would be traumatic, but it was actually this, like, huge relief, because it was all the truths that he had never told me for 6 years. It was all the worst things you could ever hear about yourself or about your relationship that you could possibly imagine, written by who I thought was the love of my life. But it was like, this green little book gave me like freedom because I finally had gotten the answers that I'd asked for the past 6 years, and I never got it. And I was broken, but I wasn't shattered. And I realized a few years ago that I deserved to have a happy life, and I realized this year that I deserve love, just not from him. Thanks.